And welcome back to packet number 7. This is the final part, part 4. Today we're going to just continue with graphing simple inequalities, and then we are also going to be solving inequalities. So continuing from part 3, just as a reminder of how to graph simple inequalities. Remember that your variable has to be on the left side. So right now it is on the right for number 3. So we're going to switch sides here. And when we switch sides, we also have to flip our sign. So this is saying x is greater than 1/2. So greater than 1/2. Find a half. Well, 1/2 is in between 0 and 1. It is an open dot, because it's not talking about including 1/2. It's just saying x is greater than 1/2. So anything greater than 1/2 is to the right. So you should be shading to the right. Looking at number 4, our variable is in the correct place, and we are at x is greater than or equal to -3.8. Well, -3.8 is pretty close to -4, so maybe right here. It is going to be a closed dot because it is including it's greater than or equal to. And anything greater than -3.8 is to the right. So we're going to shade to the right. So that's just a quick little reminder of how to graph simple inequalities. So now we're going to look at B, talking about how to solve these inequalities. Now, solving inequalities are the same steps as two-step equations. It's just now you have an inequality, okay? One rule that is added is if you multiply or divide by a negative, you also flip your sign. So the two rules still apply. Try and get rid of adding or subtracting first, then get rid of multiplying or dividing second, and then if you multiply or divide by a negative, make sure you flip your sign. So let's start with number 1. I have -4x plus 39 is greater than or equal to -29. So I see adding 39 here. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is subtract. So now I have, and I'm going to write it to the side over here because I don't think I have enough room at the bottom. I have -4x. Remember the 39s cancel each other. Is greater than or equal to -29 minus 39 is -68. And now I can do my second step. This is multiplication, so the opposite of multiply is divide. And I'm going to be dividing by a -4. So instantly you're dividing by a negative number, so that means I'm going to flip my sign. So now I have x is less than or equal to -68 divided by a -4 is 17. So my answer is x is less than or equal to 17. Okay, looking at number 2, I have -3x plus 37 is greater than or equal to 55. So again, I have plus 37. Opposite is subtract 37 from both sides. So now I have -3x is greater than or equal to 55 minus 37 is 18. This means multiply, so the opposite of multiply is divide, and I'm going to be dividing by a -3. Again, I'm already dividing by a negative, so I'm going to flip my sign. This gives us x is less than or equal to 18 divided by -3 is -6. And I'm going to do number 4 with you. Remember, our variable has to be on the left. Our variable is on the right now, so we actually need to flip this around. So just like when we flipped just the simple inequalities, we're doing the same thing. So we're taking this entire right side and putting it on the left side. So now I'm going to have 5x plus 18 and 28 on the right. And remember, if we flip sides, we also need to flip our sign. So now I can read this properly. 5x plus 18 is greater than or equal to 28. So So I want to get rid of this plus 18 and subtract 18 on both sides. So now I have 5x is greater than or equal to 28 minus 18 is 10. And the opposite of multiply is divide by 5. I'm not dividing by a negative this time, so I keep my sign. So I have x is greater than or equal to, well, 10 divided by 5 is 2. So I want you to try and do number 3 on your own. At the very bottom, we don't need this. There is like an extra page or two after this, but I found out that it is actually a repeat from packet number 2. So if you want to see how to solve that again, it is in packet number 2. You only have one question to answer, and that would be number 3. So if you have any questions or concerns, please use Google Classroom, email, or Remind.